Hey guys, it's your girl Steffi Kiss, and I wanted to start today's episode to talk about the idea to launch Academy. Okay, as you guys know, I talk about this all the time. I started my podcast journey with the help of Carla Wamaris and the idea to launch Academy. Today's guest is an alumni of Idea to Launch. And honestly, it is just so fire to have an already built network of content creators to collab with. Coach Carla talks about how her network is made up of people who look like her, Black and brown people who are embarking on this journey alongside with you, who you can lean on for like questions, support, if you need someone to just record with at the last minute who actually has equipment so your audio doesn't come out janky. Like, guys, it's just so fire. And let me just say this, coming up with content weekly is difficult as fuck, especially if you're doing this by yourself and you need guests. Okay? Joining Idea to Launch solves that problem for you. There are, I don't even know how many people in this academy, but I know it's at least close to 100. So that's 100 possible guests to collab with from all over. Like, it's not just she's from Florida, I'm from New York. I recorded with someone who is in DC, who is originally from Cali. Like, it's just wild. So again, check out Carla Wamaris and the Idea to Launch Academy on Instagram. If you decide to sign up, use my affiliate code down below. Let her know I sent you, okay? Let's get back to the show.
Do I look fat?
Hey guys, it's your girl Steffi Kiss. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Do I Look Fat podcast. This week's guest is one of my favorite people from Queens, the binge-worthy show suggestion plug, and the CEO of the Mother Goose Club, my girl Shay. Hey boo, how are you?
Hey, that was like a dope ass introduction. Like, I'm gonna save that so I can use it next time, okay?
I love coming up with those things. Like, I like to make them like real personal to my guests. It's so much fun. It's my favorite part. So Shay is, I met her a couple of months ago. She is also an Idea to Launch alumni. She recently launched her podcast with her husband, Chris, Another Shot. What episode are you guys on now?
We are going to record episode 12 tonight. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Double digits.
It's moving.
Isn't that surreal?
Okay, me and him like had, I guess, quote unquote episodes recorded from like months ago, but those are in the vault. No one will ever hear that. But like actually doing the work and just like putting it out, you're just like, wait, how we get to 5 already? How we get to 10? Like, we're at 10? Okay, this is a little crazy. And it just like time moves and you just don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm. And it goes so fast. Like,
yep.
I remember my launch day, and that was May 1st. And it feels like it was yesterday, but then it feels like I've done so much since then.
Right.
That it's surreal, but it's exciting. It's been an exciting time. I love your podcast. You and Chris, your dynamic, just I crack up the whole entire time. And I will never forget, one of my favorite episodes was the one you guys played that game. And I remember, that's why I told you, I was like, I wanted to play the game because I loved it.
Everyone was like, so they would like try to answer the questions too, like as I was reading them. I can't.
It was a good time. You guys make me laugh. But
Thank you.
You do also give some great show suggestions. And you've put me onto so many shows that I've binge watched. What was Dead to Me? That was the one that was like the first one. Oh my God,
that was like the first one, right? Yes.
I binge watched that show in like, it was like 2 seasons. I binge watched it in like a week. It was so good.
It's like, and it's quick, and you're just like, oh shit, all right, I'm gonna watch one more. And then one more turned into 5, and you're like, all right, well, it's 3:00 in the morning now, and I'm still up.
You were definitely the plug during quarantine. I'm gonna give you that. Like, you gave us everything to watch.
We had content.
That's a fact. So I just wanted to play a quick icebreaker game. It's going to be like a little word association. So
Okay.
I don't know if you went into my live on Instagram the other day, and we were asking everybody to think of the first word that came to their mind when we said the word hood. Or did you come in for that? I think you did.
No, I wasn't there.
Apparently, we were talking about the word hood, HOOD.
Okay.
And one of my friends said that the first thing she thought of was a clit.
Definitely was not the first thing that came to my mind.
That's what I said. I said, there's no way that's like, you have the hood of a car, you have a hoodie, there's just so many hoods.
Right.
There's just the hood. Like, it's a whole
Hello?
thing within itself. Not a clit. She's like, no, a hooded clit. I'm like, there's no way that's the first thing that popped into your head.
So, like, when's the last time she had some? Because this sounds horny. Like,
I mean, that could definitely be it.
like,
That could
come on now.
definitely be it. It's just on the brain. That's all she can think of. She's like, oh, yeah, that. So we're going to do a quick word association, okay?
Okay. I'm scared.
First word is Netflix.
Movies.
Hulu.
Ooh, commercials.
Casamigos.
It's time for shots.
Barbies.
Ooh, terror.
Mother Goose.
Carla.
I love this. Okay, that was actually the last one. I
Okay.
ran out of words. But that was cute. That was
fun.
So good that you said Carla last, because that is actually a good segue into our next segment, which is Eat Your Heart Out, where I
Okay.
want to talk about the 7-day juice plan. And if you guys follow Shay on Instagram, then you know that she is the juice queen, okay?
I be
She
doing a little
juices all
something.
day. A little something? You could open a side business from your kitchen. Like let's keep it 100. Okay? But I found this article on eatingwell.com, and it basically says that juices are great any time of day and are a nice addition to a healthy breakfast or as a snack. So they're not saying that I'm not talking about a juice fast where all you're doing is drinking juices to lose weight or to cleanse or anything like that. I'm talking about incorporating more juicing into your lifestyle, period, just so you can get all the nutrients and things like that. Because that's actually something I want to incorporate with Ethan. Because if you know my child, all he wants to eat is chicken and French fries. And
trust me, I know how that goes.
So I need to figure something out. We've been starting him very, very light with just orange juice.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like
and we
little
see how
by
that,
little.
how that goes for him, because he loves it.
Right. So, he finishes whole cartons in one day, So I'm like, okay, so we know he trusts this.
Right.
So little by little, I want to start adding like maybe spinach. But I'm trying not to change the color too fast.
That's like orange juice, and then spinach is like, we gotta work in the middle. But
right.
Like, let's
Which is
try
why
apple.
we're here. This is why we're here, okay? So you can give me, but my ultimate goal is like spinach and kale in his juices. Like that's what the end goal is. Hopefully we can get there at some point. Okay?
I mean, you could definitely get there. So it's like, okay, so trust me when I say my kid she'll eat vegetables, but she wants to like snack on stuff. So she'll eat like celery, and like she'll like dip it in like either like a peanut butter or a ranch or something like that.
Right.
And then, but like when it comes to you having to cook vegetables, like it's always the fight. She only wants to eat string beans, and she only wants to eat broccoli. Like, I'm not cooking string beans and broccoli every day. Like, it's just, no. I have a taste palette for a reason.
She eats broccoli.
But like, that's it. Like, there's so many other things that you can try, and so many and I don't want to like get her, I guess, like stuck into like
only eating
like this plateau, and then she's not gonna like get out of it. So it's like, all right, girl, I'll let you eat it raw, but I'm gonna cook it one day and you're gonna eat it, trust me.
We're gonna get this all the way together.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like, I guess like with the juices, you would definitely have to start small. So like, orange juice, cool. Like you did that.
Mm-hmm.
But you, like I said, you can't just go from straight fruit to three handfuls of spinach in a
Right.
cup. Like, drink this. Here you go, boo.
He's
Like,
not gonna do that.
it's not gonna work. Like, and like a lot of the thing is that these like vegetables and especially like leafy green shit, girl, it's nasty.
Yeah.
It tastes like dirt. Like,
well, that's like beets. I can't stand beets.
okay, see, I love beets.
No, beets legit taste like dirt. Like
I love
they,
beets.
they taste like how dirt smells.
I mean, I could. Yes, that is true. Like Chris hates them too. Like if I tell him I'm putting a beet in a juice, he's like, "It's cool, I'm out." Like
I don't want it.
I don't want
Forget
no
it.
parts. And I'm like, it's one. Like you're not gonna even taste it that
Yes,
bad.
I am.
But like, yeah, everything is like an acquired taste, so you got to figure out like what works.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't just be like, all right, well, everybody's drinking celery juice, so I'm gonna drink all the celery juice because some people don't like it.
Right.
That is a hard.
I don't like
taste.
celery juice either.
It's hard. It takes you got to get used to that.
I only like celery in like dips, so like buffalo cheese or something like that. You know when you have like the wings and then you have
Yes.
the celery on the
And
side.
then you have this, yes.
I'll fuck with that, but
that's about it.
I mean, I'll put it in like hummus. I'll dip celery basically, like
Okay.
I'm like, let me not say her name, but I'm like your child, right? I caught myself. I'll edit that out a little
It's
bit.
fine. It's okay.
I'm like her. I'll snack on some celery all day,
Right.
but I don't like it in my salads. I don't like it in juices. Like I don't like any of that. I only like the crunch of it.
See, now with me, like I like celery juice and I like celery raw. So I literally put celery in almost all of my juices. But you would not be able to notice that by the taste of it.
Right.
Because you're masking it with other stuff.
Right. You have like a whole concoction, a whole like method to how you're flavoring your juices at this point.
Yes. But my thing is, I don't necessarily have recipes. So I'm like mixing and matching just to see like what I like, what I don't like, what pairs well with each other. Mm-hmm. So like I'm starting to have like, okay, I know if I put 1, 2, 3, I'll be good. Like I know for a fact this is a good combination. But you gotta, mix and match. Sometimes they be ugly. They be brown juices, not the cute green juice that you think you're gonna get. Sometimes. Right. They taste like dirt and you're just like, oh, but I cannot waste this. But I'm going to mix it with something else. So don't worry.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions. One, okay. What is your favorite combination at the moment?
Oh, see, that's hard. That changes. Right now I'm into this like apples, carrots, and beets with ginger, because I put ginger in everything because it's ginger. Like
you like the
spice
kick
of life. Yeah. You need that. You need that. But yeah, I want to say apples, beets, and carrots with a couple of slices of ginger. Mad good. And like I said, it don't taste like beets. The carrot juice is actually sweet as hell. So it like masks all that dirt like taste.
That dirt taste is something else, let me tell you. What has been a combination that you were just like, oh no, I'm never gonna taste this again, like I'm never gonna try it again?
Okay, so I had some red leafy lettuce, so I mixed that with like the red lettuce, regular lettuce, and I want to say it was it was dill.
Ooh.
Girl, it was disgusting. And I don't know if it was the red leaf lettuce or if it was the dill. But trust me, your girl is not trying that no more. Like, neither one of those.
Was it like bitter?
It tastes... Okay. All right, so like when you're like trying perfume and stuff and they'll be like, this is a woodsy scent. That's how it tasted. Like it tasted like bark. Like,
okay.
Like that was bad. Not doing that again. No.
It wasn't cute. It was
No.
it was not cute. I know a tip that I've heard before is like if you're juicing kale to cut off the stems because that's where all the bitterness is. So you want to take like you want to use like the leaves mostly.
So that is true, but that's also a taste thing. Like some people like that. So they maybe won't take all of it off, but they'll use like half the stem, or they'll like juice all the stems separately and then just kind of like add that in to see like what point it gets to like, oh, okay, I'm good on that one. So
those are real juicers who would juice the stems separately and have it in its own marked mason jar, which I'm sure Shay does, to be 100%.
Listen, I don't.
Just thought about it.
It's either I'm going to use it, I'm going to use it, or I'm not. Like, that's it.
She thought about it. She was just like, you know what? I'm really not going to use it, so it's okay. One of the tricks that they gave in the article was to basically drink within a day or to freeze it right away. Do you freeze your juices, or are you like legit juicing every morning?
Okay, so for one, no, I don't juice every day. Because so like I guess it kind of really depends on the type of juicer that you have, because there's like the juicer that I have now. Should I say the name of it? They're not paying me to say their name, so it's a juicer. If you want to see which one I have, you can go on my Instagram. No, I'll tell them it's fine. So I have a Namawell juicer. So like this is a slow masticating juicer. So that basically means that it doesn't get as hot and it doesn't break down the nutrients in the juice so fast. So because of that, you can keep the juice. You can keep the juices longer. So maybe it'll be. They say one day, like that's what they all say, because it's like, oh, it's fresh once you make it and you drink it. But realistically, we don't have time for that. We got kids. We got to work. Like I'm not trying to do this every single day.
And honestly, for me, because I had a juicer once a long time ago, it was the cleaning of the juicer that I didn't want to do. Like that's what deterred me from actually juicing. Yeah,
like all that, like if you like, so this juicer, it doesn't like give me a lot of like wet, nasty pulp, and it's 3 simple pieces that you put together. So it's not terrible, but I'm still not doing that every day. Right. So it's like I'll juice in a batch and I'll make maybe enough for the both of us, so it'll be me and Chris who'll drink it, and I'll make enough for maybe like 3-4 days pushing it. Like that's it. And at that time we done drank everything anyway, so it's like you gotta make more. So it's like I've never tried to freeze it because I don't know, I just kind of feel like that's gonna be nasty. Like
I feel like that too. Like I don't sometimes, and it could just be like I need to refill the like baking soda or whatever you put in your freezer so it doesn't smell. But like, not that the ice tastes bad, but it tastes like freezer. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Freezer, right.
So I'm like, will my juice taste like that? And do I want to deal with that? So I don't know. We'll see. But they say it tastes just as fine when you freeze it. Like as soon as it defrosts, it's just as if you just juiced it as well. So
yeah, I'm not doing that. No, I'm gonna keep these in the refrigerator for my 3 days, and then we're gonna make some more. I don't know. It's something about that freezer. Just I don't want it. I'm good.
I feel you. I can't freeze food. Like I know people like they'll make food and then they'll put it in the freezer right away and then they'll defrost it and eat it like it was nothing. And I'm just like,
yes, like my mom. I remember growing up, Shorty used to like freeze her like tomato sauce and like spaghetti sauce, and I'm like,
I don't want
not eating that. No,
it's just
like,
and if it gets like
it's gonna get watery, it's gonna water down. Like you said, it's gonna taste like freezer. Like, nah, I'm good.
I don't want no parts. And I'm sure I've had it and didn't even know the difference.
Right.
But mentally, as an adult, I want no parts.
And if like, especially if you tell me like, oh yeah, I just took this out the freezer. I'm good, sis. Like, I'm not even hungry no more. And it has nothing to do with you. I'm just not eating that. Like,
Exactly. You mentioned for your juicer, like the speed of it. So in the article, it discussed high speed versus low speed.
Right.
So yours is the low speed?
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of juicer. Okay. So what they were saying is that the high speed juicers are usually a little bit less expensive, but because, like you had mentioned, because they heat up, it actually takes away some of the nutrients within the juices themselves.
Yeah.
So the low speed juicers are what they would recommend. If
That's what, right. That's what they say. If you're gonna do it, do it.
Mhm.
I've had both. I say if you're gonna juice, girl, use a juicer. Like
Right.
it doesn't matter if it's a high speed, if it's a low speed, figure it out. Like
Just get it done.
Right. Like don't not do it because I don't have the right equipment or whatever. Yeah, that juicer could be expensive, but I'm sure you could find one on Amazon for $60-$70. Like
Right.
let's go.
Right.
Use what you have.
It gave you a recommendation to use your blender to juice. So you can basically, the way to juice, they say, is to start off with your delicate vegetables first, like your leafy greens, things like that. And then you would get into your soft vegetables or fruits like tomatoes or berries. And then the last thing you would add would be your hard things. So like your carrots, your celery.
Apples. Yeah, that stuff like kind of, because it's harder and the machine has to work harder, it's pushing everything that may have gotten caught up in there or didn't go down properly. It's pushing all of that stuff through. So it's like it helps a lot, yes, and it like kind of saves you time, so you're not like cleaning up. So it's not like freezing or whatever. Yeah, I can't think of the right word for it, but whatever. So it's not like getting stuck. Like that
Right.
definitely helps push everything through or whatever. But I mean, if you're making 2 glasses of juice, like girl, put the stuff in there. Just like
Right.
let's
Right.
go. Get it
Let's
done.
just get it done.
Right.
So they were like, you can do that in a blender, a regular blender, and then use a cheesecloth to strain it so that you just get the juice instead of all of the pulp.
Yes.
Whatnot.
So like I told you I had both the slow and the fast juicer. So the faster one, like I would get like my pulp would be like so wet and I'm like gonna throw that out and I'm like, no, they still got mad juice in it. So I would put it in a nut bag. That sounds crazy.
In a nut bag?
So it's like a cheesecloth, but it's like if you're like making your own almond milk or like nut milk.
Right.
So you can squeeze it out. That sounds crazy, but
she's like, yeah, just put it in my nut bag. Like, I don't understand.
Like, excuse me? Okay. So it's like if you put it in like that and then squeeze it out, you're still getting so much juice from that. What I would do instead of having to do that, I would take all that pulp and blend it with other whole pieces of fruits or vegetables. So 1, I wasn't wasting it. 2, you were still getting your fiber because that's where you get your fiber from, all that pulp. And 3, I was using everything that I had. Like, I'm not going to throw this out, and I'm also not about to sit here and squeeze this because it's going to take me forever.
Right.
So use it. Put it in your blender. Blend it up. Add a little bit of water. If you're juicing just full whole vegetables, you, like you said before, you blend everything together, and then you'll add water to loosen it up. And everything is made out of water anyway, so you're not really losing like that taste or watering it down.
Right.
So
that's
like
true.
I said, use what you got. If you don't got a juicer, use your blender.
Just get your nutrients in. It's so beneficial to add these juices into your diet, just because of if you're not eating whole grains, if you're not, or whole foods, then it's hard to get a lot of these vitamins in your diet. And this is the best way to do it instead of just taking a bunch of vitamins and all of that stuff. Like, just juice a little bit. Have one juice. You're an adult. You'll be okay.
Like you'll be fine. I'm sure you've drinking way worse. Like
if you can drink the Casamigos, believe me, you can drink a green juice. Like, it's okay.
Juice.
Do you have any tips, any Shay tips that you want to share with my listeners when it comes to juicing?
Not really. Like I said, juice. Just if you're gonna do it, do it.
Be consistent.
Use whatever you got. Exactly. See, sometimes being consistent is a little bit hard, but be as consistent as you can.
Right. I mean, there's levels to consistency.
Right.
Once a week is still consistent.
Right. Exactly. I was just about to say this. I drank 2 juices this week. I'm good. Like, yeah, I did that.
You met your quota. Anything else is just extra. That's extra credit.
Right.
That's how you have to think about it sometimes.
Right. And I guess another thing is, okay, this is an actual tip. So they say like when you juice, you're supposed to use the 80-20 rule. So you use 80% vegetables, 20% fruits because of the fruit. The sugar content in the fruit. You don't want to overload on sugar thinking, oh, well, I'm getting my nutrients in or whatever. Fruit sugar is still sugar at the end of the day, and your body has to break that down. So you don't have to always go, like I said, that extreme 80 to 20% ratio. You could, do 50-50, but just kind of don't make it so that you're intaking more fruit than actual vegetables.
Right. So always have it at least that it's 50-50. So
at least 50-50, right.
Right. Okay. That's a good tip. Because at the end of the day, you don't want all that sugar. Because, yeah, it's so easy to fall into, like, a 60-40, like, fruit is
right,
40
like
or 60. Yeah. Just because you're like, okay, this tastes disgusting. Let me add a couple of more berries.
Right, exactly.
Let me add a banana for fun or some shit like that.
Never juice a banana. It will fuck your juicer up.
Like, oh my goodness. You see, I'm glad I said that. I would have definitely put a banana in my juicer.
Never. It's something about the consistency with it. Like, it's too thick and it, like, dulls down the blades. Like, it gets bad quick. So don't do that.
Oh, wow.
Okay. In your blender, it's fine. Blend it up. But do not put it in your juicer.
Don't juice a banana. Good. That is a good tip. Okay. So we're going to get into our second segment, which is Heart on My Sleeve. And this week it's going to be something a little bit different. If you guys haven't checked out Another Shot podcast with Shay and Chris, you must check it out. Like they say, tell a friend to tell a friend, okay? They talk about shows that they've watched, movies that they've watched. So actually, my guest last week, Hasmeen, put me onto the documentary A Perfect 14 on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let me check it out. I'm going to have Shay on soon talking about juicing and shit. I was like, I'm going to talk about this with her. Fuck that. I feel like this will be the best person to talk about this shit with, right? So A Perfect 14 is basically about being a plus size model in the world, because it's not just America. I think there was someone from Canada, Australia. I think they were in South America at one point. I'm not sure if there was a model there, but they definitely interviewed people in South America.
I think they interviewed people. I think they were interviewing people on the streets there, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think it was a model from there. I know they had a model from the UK.
Right.
And that's all I can remember.
Yeah, and then the one from the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what I got from this show or this movie or documentary was basically like they were trying to talk about how models should be classified. So, should they even be called plus size models? If you're a model, you're already a model. We're not saying, brunette models. We're not saying redhead models. We're not saying short models. We're not saying tall models. We're just saying models, right? I didn't know how to feel about that because it's like I've always known it to be a plus size model.
Right.
So I've never thought much about it. But I guess if I was in the industry and it's taking away opportunities, because now it's like you're either a regular model, which is a size 2, or you're a plus size model, which is a size 14, and everybody in between is just nothing.
It's just, you're just you. Like, whatever that is.
Like, they had girls padding themselves to make them look bigger, instead of, which is wild to me, because why not just find models who are actually bigger?
Bro, that is exactly what I'm like, okay, first of all, you're a quote-unquote plus-size model. Sis, you're a solid 12. Like,
right.
You are a solid 12, if
flat
even.
stomach. Like, I could see your ribs, bro. Like let's be...
Not your ribs.
You didn't see her little rib cage? I know you saw the indent. I was like, wow, okay.
Like, Shorty was really patting herself because she said, this is the demographic that they're going for. Bro, so just get a thicker chick. Like...
And she was like, and I'm gonna do it because this is how I pay my bills, which I get, but also, like, it's fucked up. Like, what are you, like,
and
what are
she
you
was,
selling?
like, laughing about it. She was like, oh, don't worry, I brought my padding with me. Haha, like.
And she was like, the other models are looking at her like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yes, because that's what I was looking at you as. So, shorty, what is happening?
But that's what another thing they were talking about is like it's also like a vicious cycle, right? So
Right.
the designers blame the fashion magazines for not actually putting bigger women on their covers. The fashion magazines blame the designers for only sending them sample sizes and like
right.
and like 0 or 2. So it's like, what do you want us to do? But then they were also like, when we tried to put, regular fuller figured women on the cover, they wouldn't sell as much unless they were like a Kim Kardashian or a Beyonce.
Girl, when she said the thick, like the standard for thick,
yes,
was Kim K. Girl, I was taking notes as I wrote it. I wrote Kim K. Like,
exclamation point!
Excuse me. Like, and not even to bring color into it, but you know how many thick, bad brown bitches are out there, like. But Kim K, the one who's not even natural, like
but this is my thing. But this is who they were like curvy, and I'm like, curvy? What? They have the perfect like small waist. It's like it's not even attainable for like slimmer women. Like they're just
like you're a Barbie. Like you are legit a Barbie.
Dead serious. Like it's just
but
it didn't
without
make any
the
sense
height.
to me.
You're a Barbie without the height.
If she was able to add like 7 inches to her, she would have already. If that was a thing, they would have done it.
Extend those kneecaps.
Oh my goodness. They were also talking about, perfection sells, and this is what they're they want us to think that this is the ideal of beauty, because then it's something that people will always work towards. People will always buy things to see if it'll make them feel that way or look that way or whatever the case is. So it's just it's all wild.
One of the things that I thought was interesting was, I think it was like someone who represented one of the department stores, and she was like, "Oh, would you want to associate with girls who are 200 to 300 pounds?" And I was like,
you mean all of your like people who walk through here? Like I don't even understand.
Girl, what? Just because you don't look a solid 210, 205, like,
right.
Girl, you can definitely be like you. It was just like, it was so. The fact that people actually like think like this and like this is their mindset, like it blew mine. I was just like, how is this a thing? I
mean, yeah, but that's actually just going to bring us into our next segment and our last and final segment, because I feel like the reason why this is a thing is because of one major theme. But before we do that, this is the Are You Dead Ass segment. I am going to give you an opportunity. If you have anything you want to let go, anything you just want to let off your chest in a second, that you just couldn't believe. Because, 20 times a day I'm whispering to myself, like, are you for real? Are you dead ass? So is there anything you want to let out right now?
I don't know. Like, COVID is still out there. Like, can we wear our masks? Like, can we do that? Me and the kid went for a walk today, and it was just like, for every 10 people that I saw, like 2 of them had on a mask. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, people are still dying. And people are still getting hospitalized. I'm like, it's still a thing. Like, let's act accordingly. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Like, are you dead ass? Like, wear your fucking mask. Like, that's it. That's it.
That's a great one. And I feel like that will remain prevalent throughout these times, because it's like, whenever you're listening to this, if we have not found some type of something that has eradicated COVID, wear your mask, please. That's it.
And I'm not talking about their little stupid vaccines that they claim are about to be ready. Like, no.
Right, because since when did we start trusting Russia? But that's a different story altogether. That's for another place, another time, because, bruh. So my dead ass has to do with A Perfect 14. Okay. I just could not get over how whitewashed it was. Like you said to me, we had discussed this before we started recording, and I could not get over the fact that it was a story about 4 white women And that's it. And it kind of reminded me of, I got a notification today that today marks the 100th year that women were granted the right to vote, right? But then I had seen a meme a couple of weeks ago and it was like, no, no, no. Today is the 100th year that white women were granted the right to vote because nobody else was. It was just them. And this kind of reminded me of that. It's like they're talking about their struggles, their plight, their this, their that, and how they want to be accepted and how they want to be, appreciated. But there was only one Black woman in the whole documentary. And she probably had maybe 3 lines in the whole show, in the whole documentary. And what's wild is that out of all of the models, I knew who she was. She was on Project Runway.
Yes.
I was like, when they showed her walking on the runway, I was like, oh shit, I remember her. If they would have went to her story, I would have appreciated that documentary. Just her story. They could have kept the other 3 white bitches. I don't give a fuck.
You just wanted one, that was it.
I could have dealt with the one. I really could have, but they didn't. And what's even more wild to me is that her 3 lines literally highlighted the fact. She was like, yeah, I'm a plus size model and it's hard for me, but guess what? It's harder for me because of the color of my skin. Like, she legit said that. And y'all still didn't give her any play.
Nope.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? I was so annoyed. So can I we're going to do a little spoiler because I don't care if anybody watches it. Again, Amazon ain't paying me. So yeah, I don't have to watch it. I'm going to give you a little spoiler. When you said to me the bitch died at the end, I had no idea because I stopped paying attention.
No, dead ass. Because when I said it, your face was like, oh, like shit, she did. But you was just like,
wow.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I guess, I suppose.
Nah, shorty, the main one.
Yes, I was over it. I told you it took me 3 tries to watch this documentary.
Like, and you know what's crazy? Because granted, yes, she was sick. She had a disease and it was very rare, whatever. Bro, they started her story 2 years before the 2 years that everyone else started. Like,
right.
What?
And it was like, was it always about just her? Like,
what?
It was weird. It was weird. And then she dies. I'm just like...
Then she, I guess she, like, lived her dream and her goal was realized and whatever. She was like on
Lane Bryant or something like that, right?
Yeah, she was like, oh, I have an ad right here in Times Square. Like, girl, Times Square's closed right now anyway, so like nobody's seeing that. But it's just like, why is that?
Oh my God, let me stop.
It's like, but why is that your success factor? Like, they flew you over here from another country. Like, you need to be hype about that. Like, you need to be hype about the fact that you got this national campaign. You're hype because your billboard is right here. Like, cool. I've never had a billboard in Times Square, so I don't know.
Right.
But,
maybe. But didn't Amina from Love and Hip Hop get a billboard from Times Square?
Bro, like, you can buy them. Like,
it's not that hard. Peter Guns did a whole like PowerPoint presentation.
Hello, like, he had formulas and everything in there. Like, my dude was doing it. But it's just like, it's like, cool, I see your story, but like, yeah, your story may have ended different, but it started the same way as everyone else's. Like, you have to let, like, when do we get our time to shine? Like,
but then also, can we talk about how she actually became like poppin' and like a plus size model when she lost all the weight and was only 137 pounds?
Became a whole Granted, we take activists of every size, shape, and skin tone.
Right.
But bruh, like, now, like, you literally brought us back to point A. You are not plus size. Like,
not anymore. Like, what are we even saying? And then, okay, another part that really pissed me off, and just talking about it is reminding me of it. The only time they showed like black or brown girls was when they was talking about the fucking swimsuits. Because wasn't no white bitches in any of those swimsuit pictures. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's black or brown because they have the bodies to fill out the swimsuits
they threw
that
your
you want.
Beyonce up there. They like put your Tyra up there. Like, come on now.
It's so frustrating. Like, you can be a black or brown model and not be overly sexualized. Like, why is that always a thing?
We're fetish size. Like,
so much.
In every aspect of the word. Like, that's it. That's what it is.
So yeah, either watch A Perfect 14 on Amazon Prime or don't.
Or don't. I mean,
or don't.
Or don't.
I thought it provided great conversation for me and my girl Shay. Shay, where can my listeners find you?
So you can find us everywhere. Okay, so our podcast is out on all platforms except iHeart because, you know, they have rules and shit. So you can always look us up at Another Shot Podcast. We are Another Shot pod or podcast. I think it's Another Shot Podcast on IG. You can find me on Instagram at shay.badshaw. She don't gotta find me. Just find me. just find the pod. That's
just find the podcast. I'll link everything that she wants linked down below. Yes. Follow me on Instagram, Fine and Thick Pod, just how it sounds. Also my personal page, _Steffi Kiss, STEPHYKISS. I go on live all the fucking time. Come follow me. Come chat with us because we be doing dumb shit all the time.
I do need to give you a show because you be funny.
Listen, consistency, baby. I'm trying to be consistent out in this bitch.
Gotcha.
I do have another announcement that will be coming out on August 28th, so stay tuned for that. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Shay. Give, you know, my little girl a hug and a kiss from me. You know, I love her. Tell Chris I said what up.
Father right now.
You know how that goes. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode, you guys. Please rate, review, subscribe down below. Follow us, like we said. Go check out Shay's podcast, Another Shot Podcast. And like she says, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.